Hey Future Millionaires, this is Phil from the Next Chapter team, and get ready for another ETF review. In today's review, we're going to focus on 4 State Street Spider ETFs. Like we always do, we're going to do a deep dive on all 4 and take a look at what the balance would be in the account if you invested consistently over a 5 and 10 year span. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share to your friends and family. Help the channel grow. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another ETF review. All right, now let's jump into this ETF review. Again, State Street Spider ETF review. In the review, we're going to do a quick recap of what an exchange traded fund is and how to buy an ETF. Today's ETF review is going to zone in on 4 ETFs. First one is a Spider Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF. The next one is a Spider S&P 400 Mid Cap ETF. Spider 600 Small Cap ETFs, S&P 600 Small Cap ETF, and then finally a Consumer Discretionary Select ETF. What is an ETF? An ETF is a basket of securities or a group of securities. That's usually a stock or a bond. ETFs prices change throughout the day, just like a stock. So it goes up and down in price all day, different from a mutual fund. ETFs tend to have lower expense ratios and fewer exchange, commission, and brokerage fees than mutual funds. Here's a quick 4-step overview on how to buy ETF. First, determine the type of account that you're going to buy your ETF in. Is it going to be an IRA or a brokerage account? Why I say an IRA or a brokerage account? Because most times 401k providers do not have ETFs in as an option. They usually have mutual funds, and that's okay. So now you want to diversify if you can in your IRA or brokerage account. So you decide which, next you move to which investment broker you want to work with. Any of the big ones are usually a good way to go. And then from there, you decide on the frequency. We always recommend, if possible, if your budget supports it, go weekly or bi-weekly, or at the very least monthly. Why? Because you want to have the opportunity to dollar cost average. Then further, to make this easier on yourself, even if you're working with an investment advisor, they're going to ask you to do about the same. Make the automatic transfer in, and then from there, automatic purchase. So you set it up in your budget, an automatic transfer into either your IRA or brokerage account, and then automatic purchases. That will help you dollar cost average over the course of time. And that will help you have better gains over the course of time. And it removes the discipline on you to having to do all the clicking of purchasing. For each fund, we're going to take a look at the ETF category, fund benchmark, fund summary, expense recap, total holdings, and then performance. Our first ETF is the Spider Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF. This one falls into the category of large value. This ETF is trying to track as closely as possible to the Dow Jones Average SM Index. So that's the index it's working against. Now, what is the expense ratio? 0.16. That means for every $10,000, it is about $16 annually to hold on to this fund. Not bad. Now let's jump into the holdings. Look at our holdings. Jumping into the holdings, what do we get for this one? United Healthcare Group at 8%, Microsoft at 6%, Goldman Sachs, Home Depot, Caterpillar, Salesforce, McDonald's, Visa, and Travelers Co's, INC. And then what do we get for sectors? Financials, 22%. Information technology, 19.3%. Healthcare, 17.59%. Consumer discretionary is 15.4%. Industrials at 14%. Not bad. 30 holdings, nice spread of sectors. And now we're going to jump into the performance of this one. Jumping into the performance. Our 1 year was 21.94. 3 year, 8.48. 5 year, 11.13. 10 year, 11.59. That is pretty good. Second ETF of the day, we're going to look at the MDYG, or the Spider 400 Mid-Cap Growth. ETF category, Mid-Cap Growth. What is this one tracking against? It's going for as close as possible to the S&P Mid-Cap 400 Growth Index. Because it's an index, it has a pretty low expense ratio at 0.15, which means for every $10,000 you have invested, you would pay about $15 annually for this ETF. And what do we have for top holdings? We have 245 different stocks. Top holdings: Vistar, Williams-Sonoma, Reliance, GoDaddy, Garco, Linux, and Saya, and Pure Storage INC Class A. And because you have so many, look at that, those percentages, that 1.6, really, really low, but that's spread because you have 245 different stocks there. Now let's jump into the sectors. Industrials 28.8, consumer discretionary 17.7, and information 11.70. So you could clearly see those top three make up about 50%. Then from there, not going to go through them all, but you've got healthcare, financials, energy, materials, real estate, and consumer staples, and then some other stuff. Not bad. Let's take a look at that performance. 1 year, 29.08. Whoa. Look at that. And then 3 year, 6.28, 5 year, 11.85, and 10 year, 10.42. This is fantastic. A lot of growth, good play. This could really help out a portfolio. All right, now let's jump into the next one. This one ETF goes by the call of SPSM. That's our symbol. This one is the Spider portfolio, S&P Small Cap Growth, 600 Small Cap Growth. What are we tracking against? The S&P Small Cap Growth 600 Index. And because it's a true index, again, the expense ratio keeps getting lower. Love this one. 0.03 for every 10K, $3. $3. Let's see how many securities we have. 602. Look at that. Nice spread. You've got eSign Group, SPS Commerce, ATI, INC, Mueller Industry, Bose, Installed Building Products, and look at those sectors involved here. Again, you have 602, so you can have a lot of sectors. Industrials, 18.2. Financial, 17.93. Consumer discretionary, 14.91. And then information technology, 12.7. And finally, only last one above health, 10% is healthcare. Clearly for this one, it was a big comeback year for the small caps, 15.8 for 1 year. 3 year, 2.2, 5 year, 8.99, and 10 year, 8.14. Rounding out this reviews, our last one is the Consumer Discretionary Select Sector Spider ETF. And what do we have in the ETF category? Consumer Cyclical Fund. This one is going to try to track against the Consumer Discretionary Select Sector Fund. And this one has a 0.9, so that means for every 10K, it is about $9. 0.09. All right. What do we have? 53 holdings. So 53 holdings, which includes companies like Amazon, Tesla, Home Depot, McDonald's, Lowe's, Booking Holdings, TJX Company, Nike, Starbucks, and Chipotle. Now let's take a breakdown of this sector. Because it's all retail and consumer discretionary, it's going to be a little different from our usual. We got specialty retail at 24.4, broadline retail at 24.1, hotels, restaurants, and leisure at 23.2, automobiles at 15.6. And that tops out all the ones that are above 10%. But if you do quick calculations, that right there makes up close to 90-ish%. So probably like 89, 88% right there. Then you got a bunch of small ones from there. But this is pretty amazing. Let's see what the returns look like. All right, 1 year, 23.99, 3 year, 3.90, 5 year, 11.1, and 10 year, 12.2. That's the interesting part about a sector. Those sector plays that we do at the end, the fourth fund, it's interesting to see what those returns are like, because sometimes they end up being the best one in your whole entire group that we list out in the review. As we do, one more time, we are going to do a review of all four funds, ETFs, invested 5 years consistently. If you invested consistently, what would the balance be is coming up next. It's time to jump into those spreadsheets. All right, let's take a look at someone who's going to invest $7,000 consistently into an IRA. This IRA is either traditional or Roth. And again, we're looking at 4 State Street Spider ETFs. Our first one, DIA, had a 1 year of 21.94, 5 year of 11.13, a 10 year of 11.59. Second one, our mid cap, had a 1 year of 29.08, 5 year of 11.85, a 10 of 10.24, and then we move on to our next one, a small cap, 15.88 for the 1 year, 8.99 for the 5 year, and 8.14 for the 10 year. Wrapping it up, this consumer discretionary, our exotic play, the one we're hoping to help spice up our portfolio, is going to be 23.99 for the 1 year, 5 year, 11.10, and then 10 year of 12.32. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to move this from 1 year to 5. Whoa, 48,000. Okay, so you invested 35,000 or 7,000 per year for 5 years. So principal 35,000, and your balance grows to by 13,000. So 48,000 is your balance. Let's take a look at the 10-year. I think we're going to be surprised with the results. Let's see if we break 100. We broke 100. All right. So 70,000 is your principal, so 7,000 a year for 10 years, and then your growth is 57,000. So your balance is 55% principal, or initial contribution, cash contributions, and then the rest is full-on growth. 45% growth in 10 years. With a great mix of ETFs, you can see some real results over time, and that's what we're trying to show here. Is over time, there's the potential of, when investing consistently, to grow your balance very well. Hope you enjoyed the ETF review. See you in the next one. Hey, thanks for staying to the end. This video is brought to you by the Next Chapter team. If you enjoyed the video, please take a moment to hit that like button, drop a comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family. This will help the channel reach out to more individuals just like you. We offer one-on-one coaching where we work with people and small businesses to determine a clear path to achieving their financial goals. This includes things like budgeting to reduce debts, planning for big purchases, and even learning how to build wealth with the tools that you have readily available to you. So please see our link below to schedule a free 30-minute call with our team to talk through coaching and understanding your current financial situation. Also, check out some of our affiliate links below for high yield savings account. This is a great place to put your money when you're saving up for those big purchases and your emergency fund. Check out some of our videos right here. And please enjoy and see you in the next video.